Hyeri, once adored for her innocent, down-to-earth image in the hit drama Reply 1988, is now at the center of a fiery controversy in South Korea. Not for Yeol or romantic scandal, but for her stealthy rise in the real estate investment world, where legal loopholes and ethical gray zones collide dangerously. On June 2, News One reported that Hyeri currently owns two buildings in Seoul's wealthiest neighborhoods, Samsung and Yeoksan, Gangnam District. Her total investment across these properties exceeds 12 billion won, approximately $9 million. Strikingly, the purchases were made under the names of companies she or her family established, raising questions: is Hyeri simply a savvy investor, or has she become a real estate player exploiting legal blind spots? When the idol image cracks under financial strategy, Hyeri didn't just buy properties. She demolished old buildings, constructed new multi-story complexes, calculated rental terms, and is expected, according to experts, to earn millions of won in profit within 3 years. The public reaction has been intense and divisive. While some applaud her business acumen, others express deep disillusionment. It's her money, she can do whatever she wants. Since when did entertainers become professional real estate speculators? She's not the same Hyeri I admired. I've lost all respect. Beyond public perception, many question her use of corporate entities to purchase real estate, a method that reduces taxes, grants access to lower interest bank loans, and avoids transfer fees. Though technically legal, it underscores a growing concern: an unbalanced market tilted in favor of the rich and famous, further distancing young people from the dream of homeownership. The domino effect of Ryu Jun Yeol: is Hyeri following his lead? The backlash intensified when netizens pointed out the striking similarities between Hyeri's strategy and that of her ex-boyfriend, actor Ryu Jun Yeol. In a previous expose, Dispatch revealed that Ryu had set up a company under his mother's name, borrowed up to 90% of a property's value, redeveloped it, and eventually sold it at a huge profit, nearly 6 billion won before tax. His legal yet controversial strategy included forming a shell company, deep writing, to bypass capital gains taxes and benefit from startup loan incentives. This enabled him to acquire prime land in Yeoksan and turn it into a luxury multi-story complex that was promptly put on sale for a whopping 15 billion won in early 2022. Hyeri's eerily similar approach has triggered accusations: are celebrities now using corporate structures as tax shelters and investment vehicles to quietly accumulate wealth? Celebrity or entrepreneur? The blurring of lines. A larger ethical dilemma emerges: should celebrities be allowed to speculate on real estate in this manner? While business people are tightly regulated, celebrities operate behind curated images of innocence and relatability, using their popularity as both shield and leverage. The result is a double standard, where public trust masks private ambition. Hyeri, once the girl next door, is now seen by many as a Gangnam real estate magnate, quietly collecting rent checks and eyeing long-term capital gains. This shift in image leaves fans grappling with betrayal and reevaluation. Legally sound, but ethically dubious? The cases of Hyeri and Ryu Jun Yeol raise critical questions: are current laws protecting the vulnerable or empowering the privileged? Creating a company to invest in property is not illegal, but using corporate status to reduce tax burden, secure favorable loans, and avoid regulatory scrutiny undermines the principles of fairness. For ordinary citizens, who pay full taxes and struggle under decades-long mortgages, competing with such corporate-backed celebrity ventures seems almost futile. A new perspective, not just about money, but trust. At its core, this isn't merely about financial gain. It's about a crisis of trust, and the social role of public figures. People admire celebrities not just for their talent, but because they feel represented, inspired by stories of hardship, sincerity, and upward mobility. When those same figures are caught manipulating financial systems for personal profit, it's not just market fairness that takes a hit, it's the public's emotional investment that crumbles. Final thoughts: time to rewrite the rules. We cannot forbid celebrities from investing, but we can demand transparency, accountability, and ethical responsibility. Laws must evolve to close loopholes, tax shell companies properly, and prevent misuse of startup privileges for speculative purposes. Hyeri's case isn't the end, it's a wake-up call. A signal to regulators, fans, and the celebrity world that reputation must align with responsibility, and that public trust, once lost, is harder to buy back than any building in Gangnam. The real estate market needs transparency. And the audience, they deserve respect. From screen sweetheart to real estate speculator? South Korean actress and idol Hyeri is now the subject of heated public scrutiny after reports emerged alleging her involvement in high-stakes real estate investment, using methods eerily similar to those previously exposed in her ex-boyfriend Ryu Jun Yeol's infamous property dealings. The spark: 2 buildings, 1 scandal. On June 2, news outlet News One reported that Hyeri currently owns 2 multi-story buildings in Seoul's most elite neighborhoods, Samsung-dong and Yeokseum-dong in Gangnam District, acquired through companies she and her family set up. The real estate strategy was textbook-level precise. Purchase old residential buildings. Demolish and rebuild modern complexes. Lease or flip the properties at a premium. A Samsung building she bought for 7.75 million South Korean won, $5.6 million, was razed and replaced with a sleek 6-story tower. The other, in Yeokseum, originally cost 4.39 billion South Korean won, and now reportedly commands a market value of over 10 billion South Korean won. What truly raised eyebrows, however, was how she acquired them, through corporate entities, a tactic often used to bypass high capital gains taxes and access preferential bank loans. Learning from the best, or the worst? This is where the plot thickens. Netizens were quick to draw parallels between Hyeri's investments and those of her ex-boyfriend, actor Ryu Jun Yeol, whose real estate maneuverings were exposed by Dispatch in 2022. Ryu was found to have created a private company named Deep Writing, registered his mother as CEO, borrowed up to 90% of a property's value, built a massive complex, and flipped it for nearly 6 million South Korean won in profit. Critically, Hyeri's strategy appears to follow a near-identical blueprint, and that has triggered a digital storm. Some angry commenters went as far as to say she must have learned these tricks directly from Ryu Jun Yeol. A gender double standard or a pattern emerging? Interestingly, this backlash also sheds light on a double-edged dilemma. When male celebrities invest, they're sometimes seen as strategic, but when women do the same, they may be branded opportunistic. Yet in Hyeri's case, the criticism seems to stem less from gender and more from the emotional betrayal fans feel, not just toward her financial actions, but toward the public image she's long cultivated. Once held as a symbol of humility and simplicity thanks to her breakout role in Reply 1988, Hyeri now faces accusations of secretly using shell companies to hoard real estate, contributing to Seoul's rising property prices and worsening housing inequality.